Hello and welcome. It's 9:14 a.m. today on March 9th, past Sunday in 2025. Let's breathe. Today I felt to share with you the experiences this being had when three of us journeyed by an inner journey guided uh, by Oriel to the sun, and from then to any area in the cosmos or any planet or any star that was calling out to us. And after that, maybe to another, and then eventually connecting with the super galactic center. So these are just words, but the journey and the feeling is obviously something I cannot do for you. I will post Oriel's website. There are many things going on in our... Alles gut, Schatzi. We have to just come back to center as I was interrupted. So I am absolutely aware that there are many things going on in our daily life, and for everyone it is difficult. There is a lot of pressure in the air. There's a lot of things going on, and there's a lot of information. And yes, I agree with all those that speak out to absolutely discern to what we listen to, what interests us, what uplifts us, and what gives us a feeling of belonging. And I am a deep person, and for most of my earth walk, this was a challenge, and I I used to be also a very positive person and a very open person. And in that old world, there were also good times. On the other hand, I had a very Plutonian life, so a lot of letting go and rebirth, a lot of surrendering, a lot of trusting. And yeah, in the human realm, you would call it losses, but I see it a little bit different. Yes, the feeling of loss is a true feeling. The wisdom coming from it is though that anyone that is spending time with you in your life, anything that you're able to embody and manifest, is a true gift and a true appreciation. So if you are listening thus far and the sound of my voice and the hopefully what is the word, touchable sincerity from this life, I hope that it carries through as the inner guidance is that deep compassion. I'm in no way perfect and I'm in no way totally altruistic in accepting inappropriate behavior. No, I have my limits and I listen to what my being can neu neurologically, I would say, digest, because if you fine tune your senses, Earth life can be very stressful simply through the stimuli from noises, from various wavelengths, fields, from the general conduct of people, and also of the lack of kindness and yeah, or just superficial politeness. But everyone is under a lot of stress because I'm sure um, they're feeling the same. I am just amazed that I feel guided to share with you, and then something else is coming out. So the sun is shining. It is cool outside, around 2 degrees. It is fresh. It is almost frosty, and the sun is just getting a little stronger. And that's lovely. Yet I did wake up feeling very sad and feeling very alone. And then my mind is very fast, and I hear others that explain why one feels alone. And with this, I do not mean the loved ones that I met in this life that have gone to another vibration. It wasn't that type of feeling. Then some people say it has to do with us. Well, they call it the fall. Yeah, the moment we are supposedly coming out of the soup of oneness, being totally connected to everything onto earth, and supposedly we go through this being disconnected from our true soul family. But that's not really what I get. And there are things in my 3D life that actually very much have reasons why I feel sad and I feel alone. It is a time of rebirthing. It is a time of being in the void. It is a time of being in two worlds at once or being in the in-between. And so the old ways are no longer appropriate and the new ways aren't yet formed, and the body is being, while the body is being the energy of the body and the body itself, and with this all of its multidimensionality is currently busy in rebuilding everything from the inside out. And so there is a lot of stepping further for the idea of now, because we have feet, we have legs. When we need to go somewhere, we go forward and we don't go there backwards. So we step to get there. And so then the idea is that we're stepping 3 steps forward and 4 back, or it's 1 step, but it doesn't get us any further. So this is just a metaphor. So the idea is that it feels as if nothing is changing, and maybe we are just grateful for not having more to deal with, grateful for anything that does work, because it seems to affect not just our loved ones, not just our pets, but every area of our life. And if you're living in an area where you need a car, it is good when the car is safe and roadworthy. And then there's all these loops we have to jump through to just maintain our home because of the supposedly, well, I would call it this way, technology at the moment is like that it needs to be checked upon if it is still working, even though things are modern. Mm, washing machines used to work for 40 years. Now you're lucky if you're getting 4 years out of it, unless you are in the lucky position to buy the best model and a professional one, and so on. And yeah, or you still have one of the old ones. So this is not meant to be a criticism. It is not more to do with an explanation. Yeah, it seems even to replace something doesn't always give a solution. And there are plants affected as well. Or let's say the weather is changing. You may have noticed this too. So things are different also in nature. And I'm not wishing to judge. It's just a true sign we are in a time of change, a time of transformation, and it seems to affect everything and everyone, and that is feeling disorientating, and it means we, each one of us, needs to build our inner core strength and deciding, well, actually, most of us have decided for peace a long time ago, for empathy, for understanding. So with each breath, this new life of ours, the new world of ours, is being created. And I am not an experienced astrologer, as some of the few people I listen to or the few people I may meet are. Um, However, March is a time with all this stellium in Pisces, and what I didn't share in my last chat with you is that Pisces is the end of the zodiac. It is the end, if you want to say, of the astrological year, and with the a 0 degree Aries, it's not just the beginning of spring, but it is also the beginning of the new astrological year. So when Neptune is going to move into that after 184 years, that's quite a leap, not to mention all the other planets, Chiron transiting Aries, which is about the I am, Venus being an Aries, and Venus not just symbolizing the archetype of the feminine energy, also to do with self-worth, with value, with love for oneself as well as in all relationships. And I'm not understanding that it also stands for money. And that's a big theme. So your finances, but at the same time, many of us facing these challenges. And I'm sure there are astrological explanation to do with the sign of Taurus and Jupiter and the nodes. Yeah, the second house. Um, and also well, the conflicts that are being still supposedly held out there, which is under the old paradigm. And really, everyone knows the old paradigm is ending, and this is just to remember that the Kali Yuga is ending. So I suppose in the old paradigm you would say it is kind of the last hurrah, or it is kind of the birthing pains, but really in a gentle birth where the baby is delivered in the sac of fluid with it intact, and mother and child are aligned and supported. These birthing pains are not what we have been told. There are so many things in the old paradigm that are not the only truth. And I would recommend the discussion between Heather Answers and I just had his name, 3 syllables. I will link out as well. The Indian scholar. Sadly, I had not had a chance to read his book. I would love to. It's a lifetime work into the sacred scripts and, well, into everything that we have as a possible proof. And you hear in the discussion between the two, you can sense whether this is something that resonates with you. So now the real reason why I wanted to have this shared, and the reason I'm sharing is because don't think this message is just for me. So I'm just sharing them because I voiced it once in the small group yesterday, but I wish to voice it and to record it in this, because I guess the same intuition, inspirational force that encouraged me to share, I suppose, this talent with you is, and to go into the public with that. It is a very courageous part from my point. It takes a lot to speak here to you and to use these words and to also share these insights. In no way I am claiming any truth with this. This is what is shared with me, and I'm sharing it with you. Nothing more. And in a way, I wondered why I need to add to the amount of information that is already there. And, well, it's an inner nudge that for whatever reason it is important for this place where I am based. The land, the elementals, the nature, the animals, the air, all those consciousnesses, and also my ancestral lineage, and also my soul truth, and also my personal path. And also because for some reason, yeah, the 8th house in Gemini and Pluto in the 3rd house of communication, and a stellium in the 11th house of dreams and future. I am feeling mirrors in a evolving system. Astrology is evolving like everything too. And as I said, I am in no way an expert. I'm a scholar, and because it has helped me navigate my life better, to understand particularly why things did not go the way I personally wished for. And so surrendering this, that there is a bigger path to this, why we have to traverse so many why is the past so long? So sharing in that small group was very cathartic for me, as I really am not having an easy time. It's very emotional, and it is very stressful on all areas of my body and all areas of my life. And it is an overload of things that need to be managed while everything in the body is changing, and it does not feel good physically and emotionally particularly. So, but I'm sure this is for many the same. Maybe for those of us who've been around here, it just is difficult to understand why, with all that inner work we've done for decades, it still feels so sad. But then many of us are these conductors of love and obviously feel the grief surrounding this planet and in each soul and in each being and each minute elemental, even that what we breathe, it's being breathed into the new earth, everything around us. So finally, getting to the point. So it was a bit difficult for me to journey at all, as I would have had a lot more to share, and it was going around in my mental area. However, I followed the guidance to go and meet and sit with the sun. And for me, it stood actually for truth. And what came as a symbol was that I saw this manual scale reaching out of the sun and having Virgo on one side and Pisces on the other. And yeah, it reminded me of Mart, the weighing of the soul. And I happened to go then right in the midpoint, I suppose, of balance and harmony. So that was the symbolism I was given. I am not going to interpret this right now. There's a lot of more information arising in my body. I just wanted to describe to you that journey. And after that, when we were asked to go to a star system, I ended up at Pegasus. And the reason being that Oriel had shared a graphic from the heliocentric view talking about various heavenly bodies and how, yeah, and it was like a little map. And there was Pegasus 51 on it. And the interesting thing is that my whole body went to Pegasus, and Pegasus navel and my navel merged in one being. It was a soul merge, but I was in that, and I found peace. And then I could also feel the peace of the other two people in the group. the one who was holding the group energy, obviously more, came very strongly through that. And even though we were asked if there's any other star to go, I remained in this merge with Pegasus and navel to navel. And actually the energy is coming now. I can feel that feeling of connection and harmony. And also, to me, this symbolizes peace and freedom. I just wanted to share with you what is occurring to me right now, that freedom sounds like Frieden, 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 because Frieden means peace in the German language. And Freiheit, frei, 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 not fry, Freiheit is freedom. So it's just interesting how freedom in English sounds like Frieden. So there's obviously a connection from the origin of the words, the etymology, I think it's called, that also in its origin there is a connection between peace and freedom. They belong together. So um, I am just feeling this energy now, and I'm staying with this for the moment. Let's just breathe into our core, and I hope I can somehow anchor or transmit the energy via the presence and via these words, the codes, the light codes behind it. Actually, together with the breath, one can spread or emit it through the whole body and through the whole aura. And whilst I was there, what was shared with me, and which is the reason I'm sharing with you, that it was shared that peace is imminent, and that when I will leave here, whatever that means, and whenever that will be, um, we will have fulfilled the reason we were born here to hold, well, peace holders or holders of peace, space holders of peace. And I, yeah, I got the feelings, I got the visions, I got that message. It was a whole soul body feeling. So that was the most important. However, and we were then asked to go and meet the Super Galactic Center. I found myself at a round table gathering, and it was a huge place. I don't know how can I describe it. It's a bit like you're in a stadium, but it's a round one, and I only see this one corner, like, if you have a cake and you just see one piece of the cake. But I just it was the beginning of the meeting, and more beings were coming in, and we all met because all is totally new. None of what we have lived through or studied or brought with us from the various worlds and planets, and particularly from Earth, we could use as a base for finding the way forward. So yeah, I'm just going back to that resonance right now. And after that, I did not go anywhere else. I was basically at that gathering of the new, so it's so new it hasn't even got a name. It's not New Earth because it involves many galaxies. I mean, we don't even have a word for what is beyond the universes and galaxies, and certainly the Supergalactic Center is not this black hole. I mean, we need to let go of the notion of the black hole. Maybe this appeared through observation or telescope or the technology, whatever. It is like the womb, and we all have been in the womb of our mothers, and it is protective and warm, and we are in this gently being swayed when she walks or breathes or sleeps. We are in this inner universe protected through her being, and certainly hearing her heartbeat, feeling the hands through that area, and being connected with her through the umbilicus, the navel, and being all the time nurtured with warmth and food and being in this warm fluid. But it is not like a water thing, it's more like a plasma thing. So it's not like, yeah, you're held within it, in this balloon, and this, yeah, like you, like as if you are being held in somebody's arms. I believe the first embrace is there from when we are a tiny pile of cells. And so to me, yeah, to me, I see rainbow lights, but maybe it is the forgotten the name. You know, you got the mother of pearl, the white pastel colors, but then you got the blue, black. It's also a pearl. My body can't think of the name right now. You can look it up, but it is the rainbow spectrum visible in the dark sky. And I just will share one more thing. If any one of you ever did a shamanic journey into earth, actually going down the roots of the tree and ending up in the soil, you can feel how moist, how light, how alive that darkish, brownish, blackish, reddish soil is, and that you can breathe in it. So this is just from an experience I did years ago, and maybe you can find a journey that can give you that experience. Okay, I meant to summarize. So, and to remind myself, even though in my daily life the challenges personally I am facing are still there and have not been resolved, and holding space for it and accepting, loving, and trusting myself and the inner core and life itself, because you know we made it this far. And quite honestly, if there was a reason to leave, the only thing that would concern me is who takes care of the four-legged. The rest, my family is grown up enough to cope, and it'll be okay. I don't have that fear anymore for many, many decades. Um, but we are here, and And so I just would like to emphasize that the parts we're working on is our inner strength, and that this journey yesterday that gave me these wonderful connections that are part of my being. And yes, it is still I still have to make the effort to like speak to you, share with you, or breathe there. But if I sink into my inner core, I can actually feel it spreading in the column of my spine and the cerebral fluid that runs there, which actually feels very much like that womb of mother feeling. So the nurturing of my being comes through there. So it seems the connection with yeah, and as I focus on it, it's spreading more, and it seems the cosmic connection and the rainbow light in all this mother of pearl effects in all color spectrums is spreading from there to all areas of the body. And it is a different system. It is not the nervous system, and it is not the endocrine system. It is a new, so there are new pathways being, yeah, it's almost like a new anatomy, a new body part, a new organ, well, a new dimension. So this is the word I'm getting. Yeah, and really I can feel it from the back of my skull going all the way up my skull and then all the way down. It isn't a spine it follows a different line, but it follows, some would say it's a Shushuma. I don't get this name. It seems to be something that encompasses all energy lines, all meridians. It's not even the bladder meridian or something that is the traditional acupuncture one. It is more like a column of rainbow light, transparent, the plasma-like. Yeah, conductors of love. I just get this. It's a healing vibration, healing all the knocks and experiences, because it is actually particularly feelable around the connection of the head with the body, so the neck area, strengthening that. It seems to change the curvature of the spine. Maybe my spine is weird anyhow, so it may just adjust it to how it should be, but it is a more upright way, And there seems to be, at least energetically, more vertebrate type structure being added. So as if there are as if it is a sheet or shield around the spinal column, but it has a lot more vertebrae, and it goes right to the very end of the spine, which is not the lumbar, but it is the coccyx, but it actually spreads into all the the gluteal maximus, the main seating muscles. In fact, it is going down the back of the legs, into the feet, and just to remember, the Pisces stands for the feet. Virgo, I believe, is the shoulder girth, and the breathing and the arms and the lungs, but so breath and water is coming up. Gemini as being symbolic of the breath. That is what came out of this too. So feeling total peace right now. So I suppose to share with you is that we are all healing our broken heart. Maybe this has to do with something we brought with us, or it has something to do with these last 5 years, but actually it could go back to 9/11 or even before that. Maybe it's the broken hearts of our ancestors too, as they lost a lot of their wealth and belonging and their health as well. and the stressful events of the last 100 years that just be so random without going into an individual. Okay, the broken heart has to do with us witnessing a lot of beings. This is in all dimensions. Yeah, human beings, multidimensional beings, animal beings. Yeah, even beings like who lives in a house, the house soul, the house spirit. Beings that live in trees. The tree itself is a being. It's all consciousness. How all of that in front of our eyes through living this old paradigm of the last 5,000 years. It doesn't matter on which planet you were, but also particularly here. All the devastation, all the unnecessary loss of life. Often it was young beings, but particularly it was obviously people in the prime of their lives who were the hope as well as the strength of the family. Yeah, there were the son and daughters, and there were the husbands and wives, and the mothers and fathers of the generations. And yeah, they were in the best, fittest time, or they were just beginning their life with all that energy. And the loss that we often feel is also that the potential of all those they couldn't live their life, that didn't get married, and the unborn children, or all those that actually did not make it because of the stressful circumstances. Yeah, and also if you are somebody who watched it and you survived it and you are an elder, how much strength must have it cost to see your loved ones, or to see just the next generations being wiped out in front of your eyes, and you have to live through it, being in the last quarter of your life, and have to live with that for decades. In a way, how our grandparents lived it, and in a way, the generation, us, were the hope, even if I'm aware of the fact that not everybody wanted a child, and a child wasn't always welcome, but it resembles new life. And the fact that maybe they weren't welcome is because their own inner child wasn't healed and they didn't have the resources. But I'm sure if somebody feels love, has all the essentials in life, has a home, has loving surrounding, can live some of their dreams at least, that they would have looked forward to being able to birth new life, this magic, and with this, the new generation, and with this, the hope for peace, as it means a new generation means that life goes on this planet. It connects us to those that were before us and those, yeah, it is a hope seeing children from any species is really showing how life is possible and hope is there and there's a future. And so our deeds, our doings, our being here, because we leave an energetic imprint of our love, our hope, and our absolute inner truth. So I suppose what the task is right now, and I'm speaking particularly for me, is to connect the inner strength and the inner love and the inner compassion, and you could call it self-love, but it is more than that. It is about loving all, but being aware of that life force of love, freedom, truth, life, empathy, compassion, and peace residing within us, and we are that, and we emit it. Even if we get stressed and even if we get angry maybe on the outside, the reason we may be getting agitated is because the other person isn't expressing that. Their mindset may be from the old paradigm. Point is, we have the ability to self-heal ourselves. And so I would like to close now, as I feel I have shared with you the most important parts, and forgive me for the long introduction. It is sometimes the energy needing to establish itself, it seems, and we are still having a mixture of energies, so it works a bit like a, yeah, this can come into the circle and that one needs to stay out. So it's like defining the, yeah, what is it that I came here to share, and also holding that candle going whilst there are obviously a million energetics going on outside that are influencing it. And then again, I have to say that sadly for me, I am online when I'm recording this. But whatever the purpose is of that, because it's the only way right now to, at this moment, to do that. So in the future, there may be a way of recording with a very more set up, energetic surrounding in a spot that is dedicated to it, even if my inherited computer that is on its, yeah, that has been around for a while is dedicated to this work. And this room and this home, is daily being infused with the breath of love, supported by nature, supported by the four-leggeds, and obviously supported by me. And there's quite a distance to the next village or city or so. So I trust I could convey this as best as I can. And the reason these recordings are quite long is because this is what it takes me to set the space. I do not plan it. So I am following what is, so there is no need for me to apologize. This is how it is at this moment. And these recordings are not that you pick up the information I am sharing with you. The purpose is that you enter into the circle, into this meditative state with us that are being here when this is recorded. But obviously it is up to you, and I totally understand if there is no room in your life to do so, because the way life is at the moment. Okay, closing now, finally. I'm wishing you a wonderful now and a wonderful tomorrow. And thank you for sharing. And this is Blue for blueroom.org.